Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions and MLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call Mom.
Hello and welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. Whoa, I'm having a little problem here with the mic. I'm Debbie Marcoux and I am the Mortgage Mom, and today our show is going to be relocating to a new state. And although, I'm here, I'm in California, and there are a lot of people leaving California, there's actually a lot of people that are going numerous places. They're moving to many different states. And so I don't want to actually name this one Leaving California, just because we are across the nation. We do have people listening by podcast and YouTube everywhere across the U.S. And the general is people are moving. You know, this is the Great Migration, and we've done these shows before, and we've talked about, tips and tricks to make things a little bit easier for you. But today I actually want to talk about the lending aspect of things and, how can my team help you? Where can my team help you at? Do you need to get completely reapproved if you decide to change up from one state to another? So this is going to be a really great show. We're going to definitely touch on a lot of pieces, a lot of information. I want to remind everybody that this is an interactive show. If you have any questions whatsoever, I invite you to please put them into the feed. If you're watching the show, let me know that you're there. Tell me hi. It does make it a little bit easier when I know people are watching, when I've got people that are actually asking questions. So it's helping all the way around. It makes it a little bit easier for me to do the show in order to answer questions for you. But it's also really nice to know that people are watching. So once again, I am Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom. And if you know anybody that calls themselves that, well, I got to tell you, they're not. I'm actually got it trademarked and it is me. I do differentiate myself with radio. So anything, anywhere that you look online, Google Mortgage Mom Radio, you will find me. Heather jumps on. She says, hi, Debbie. Jason jumps on. Hello, all. I'm so happy to see all of you here. And again, remember that this is interactive. If you are listening by radio over the weekend, we are on Saturdays and Sundays, and you would like to be part of the show, you'd like to be able to ask your questions, get your answers live, all you've got to do is text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. That is the best way to get through to us. You can watch me film this live. You can answer your questions. Ask your questions. You can get interactive with us. So truly, I invite you to do that. And I promise we're not going to spam you. We're going to send out like one text message a week. If we happen to do a home buyer workshop on a weekend, then you'll get one extra text message, but that would be it. I'm not, going to be sending you a bunch of things about voting and buying things, buying items, things like that. Just letting you know that we have gone live so that you can jump on and be part of the show. I also want to invite everybody listening to call our office. Give us a call, talk to us, go to my website, ask me questions. We're here for that. The show is all about education and wanting to make sure that we are giving you the answers that you need to help you and your family make the decisions that you're trying to make. So how do you get a hold of us? How do you call us? Again, everything with radio. So mortgagemomradio.com. You can go to our website, mortgagemomradio.com. You can call our office. The same phone number that you would text is the number to call the office. So that's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. So just remember that. You guys, You can find us no matter what you do. Google us and we will come up. Just don't forget that radio. So once again, today we're talking all about relocating to another state. And I do want to talk to you all about where can we help you? How can we help you? Do you need to get reapproved if you're thinking about, moving to Florida and then change your mind and you want to go to Texas? So this is going to be great. We're going to try to help you guys get prepared as you're trying to make those decisions about where you want to go. And I'm going to give you all of the information that you need to know about how my team can help you. We're going to take a super quick break, and when we get back, I'm going to jump right into the subject. So if you have any questions whatsoever, this is interactive. I want you to put those questions into the feed, and I am going to read them out and answer them for you. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. Okay, and welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and today we are talking all about relocating to another state. So the first thing that I do want to start off with is that most loan officers that you talk to in your area, they are offering you lending. They are licensed by their state, and they are offering you lending typically in the state in which they live. So they are only working that state. They are only licensed in that state. That is unless they work for a federally chartered bank, one like, Wells Fargo or Bank of America, where they are umbrellaed by that federal license and they can do, loans everywhere. So finding a loan officer that has a vast majority of licenses can be very difficult. That is one thing that, trust me, has taken a lot of time for me to actually get those licenses done in many different states. I currently have 13 licenses, and I'm going to read those states off for you, and I'm actually working on 3 more. So by the end of this year, I should have 16 licenses, which does make it a little bit easier for you to call me, talk with my team, and try to figure out where you're going and not have to reapply every time you decide that you're moving to another state. So with that, we're going to go ahead. I had to actually write down the states because in my shows, I do mention quite frequently that we do lending in other states, and I start rattling them off, and then I always forget one, and then I say one 2 or 3 different times in a row. So I actually wrote them down this time so that I don't forget them. And I'm going to read them out loud to you guys. So we've got Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, Nevada, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington. I actually just finished the licensing classes and passed the test for Utah, so that should be coming up on radar very, very quickly. If you have been working with me already, you've been listening to the show, you haven't called us yet, but you know you want to work with me and my team, I invite you to please reach out to me and let me know where you're looking. Let me know what state that you're looking in, and I would be more than happy to look into what it would take to get licensing for your state. Now, I can tell you that there are states that are a little bit, I think, more difficult to do lending in. And for that reason, I do believe that it is very important that you are working with somebody very local to you. And most of those states are on the East Coast. So for example, New York, I would not want to do lending in New York. Personally, I feel that it is, you really have to live there, understand it. It's a completely different market. And Boston, Maryland, I just feel like there's many the East Coast that I do think that you would definitely be benefited by calling somebody who is there in your neighborhood, in your city, in your county. So keep that in mind. But for the vast majority of the United States, it is almost very similar, very standard, very normal. You really just need to work with somebody who is licensed there, who does understand it, and, can help you to obtain your goal. And that is what we're doing here. Jason jumped on. He says, leaving California, looking to move to Nevada here. So actually, and that's, something that a lot of people are doing. Many people are leaving California and they're going to Nevada. They're going to Texas. We see a lot of migration to Texas. We've got Carrie from my team who just recently made the move to Tennessee. Heidi, who made the move to Arizona. It is very common that people from California are leaving California, but it is also very common that people that are living in other places like Las Vegas are also relocating somewhere else. We've got people who have left California, gone to another state, thought that it was going to be amazing, and we're actually starting to see some of those people come back to us. So again, that's why I titled this show, Relocating to Another State. I didn't want it to be leaving California because that's not what this is about. It's about what can we do for you as a team? What states can we help you in? Is there a state you would like us to help you in? We'd love to go ahead and find that out. So please reach out and let me know. It's important for you guys to be able to work with one place, one lender, and know that we're going to be able to handle everything for you, whether you start off here in California and you move somewhere else, or whether you are in another state, moving, within your state, coming back to California, and so forth. We've got Cindy that just recently relocated to Idaho. So again, my team is very diverse, and we're living and working and taking care of, a big part of the country. Carrie jumped on. She says, hi, love in Tennessee. Carrie, I am sure that you are. Heather says, if I qualify for a home in one state, do I have to requalify if I decide to move to another state? So Heather, that's actually a really great question. And it was one that I wanted to make sure that I took care of on this show, because I do want to make sure that people know that if you are working with somebody, let's say, for example, that you decide that you want to move to Florida. And so you start talking with a real estate agent there and they refer you to their lender, and you call and you get yourself pre-approved. And then all of a sudden you decide, you know what, I don't think I want to go to Florida. I think I want to go to Texas. And you call that lender back. They've already pulled your credit report. They've already taken your application. They've already received all of your documentation, all of your income, your assets, your pay stubs, your driver's license, right? They've got everything from you. And you call them back and you say, I'd love to work with you, but I think we're going to actually look at Texas. We decided on Florida. Okay. If that person is not licensed in the state where you're changing your mind, you are now back at square one. Another lender needs to repull credit. You need to reapply with another lender. You need to resend all of your documentation to that new lender. So it is really a good thing that my team has so many licenses across the country. If you are not 100% sure where you're going, we are a really great place to get started. And again, I am more than happy to look into additional licenses for additional states. So if you are starting with us because you are thinking that you're going to move to Oregon, and then you decide to change your mind and you want to go to Montana, that's actually a state that's already on my radar. So I would let you know, no problem. Let me go ahead and jump on that for you and we'll get that licensing there. So again, I want to make sure that everybody listening to the show today understands that we are doing our very best to cater to everybody. And just like I mentioned earlier, I don't like to do anything that I don't feel comfortable with. So some of those East Coast states that do have a little bit different, little more quirky, little more attorney states, I do think that you should be working with somebody who is local to where you are buying. So New York, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Boston. I think that you guys should definitely look for somebody that are in your direct area to help you. But other than that, it's pretty wide open, and we've got a giant team living just about everywhere. My mother-in-law, Karen, jumps on. Karen, thanks so much for watching. She says, excellent info. Thank you. And you're very welcome. Relocating is a big decision and there's a lot that goes into it. And, finding that you can just talk with one person that can help you where you are and where you're going is definitely one piece of the puzzle that you can take off of with some relief. Thinking that, I'm going to get pre-approved because I know this person, they did my loan before. And then finding out that where you're going to, they can't help you. And now you need to start all over again. That makes it very difficult. Now, let me also tell you about the size of my team. Because we are in so many states, because we're all living in different states, we have real estate agents that we have worked with across the country. And we have actually been able to kind of pick and choose the ones that we feel work very much the same as we do, have your very best interests at heart. They're going to work very hard for you. If you're a first-time buyer, they're going to stop and slow down and take the time and explain. And so we would love to be able to provide you with a referral to a real estate agent for the area that you're moving to. So for example, we have a fantastic real estate agent in San Antonio, Texas. She works all of the surrounding areas as well. We have a couple of nice, really good agents in Tennessee. We've worked with some fantastic agents in Georgia. We've got quite a few of them going on right now in Las Vegas, Washington, obviously California. We're stocked. We've got a good amount of them in Idaho. So if there is a place that you are going to and you want the help, it's going to be an easy transition for you. Not only can we help you get pre-approved for where you're going, but we can help you get to a great agent that we do trust, that we can refer you to. And now you've got everybody working together for you as a team. One of the things that I can't stress enough is that when you've got your real estate agent and your lender working together for you as a team, it really does make things easier. You've got, I understand how much that you might need to get from a seller and closing costs to make your cash to close work. Your real estate agent understands, that how many bedrooms that you need. And this one house just came up immediately. They're going to run out there. They're going to FaceTime with you. They're going to show you the home. They're going to call me. They're going to ask me to reach out, run the numbers with you, talk about whether this is affordable. Is it within your budget? I'm going to immediately get that pre-approval letter put together. I'm going to make a phone call to the listing agent to let them know what a great candidate that you are for their listing. It's all about working together as a team to get you what you need and to take the stress off of you. One thing that I want to make sure that I, bring to your attention is that this past Sunday, I came in and I did a home buyer workshop. It was a 3-hour workshop. It was on YouTube. I start from the very beginning. What do these words and terms mean? And I take you all the way through the end, closing your loan and getting your keys. And this is something that if you have not bought a home before, or if it's been a good amount of time since you've purchased a home, it would be really good for you to go back to my YouTube channel and watch that. We want to bring you the education. We want you to understand what you're doing. We want to take some of that pressure off of you so that you can focus on some of those other things that are very important when you're talking about relocating. So we're going to take a super quick break. And when we get back, I'm going to talk to you about a good list of things that are important for you to be researching as you're trying to decide where it is that you want to go. What are things that you need to take into account? What do you need to be looking for? What should you be researching? So stay tuned. We're going to be right back. welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom, and I am the host of the show. And today we're talking all about relocating to a new state. Many of the things that I'm talking about today would actually hold true even if you're looking to buy a home in your neighborhood. You're not planning to relocate out of state. So keep that in mind. The Home Buyer Workshop is great for anybody that's been thinking about buying a new home. A lot of the things that I'm talking about, things to take into consideration when looking for where do you want to move to. That holds true even where you live today, and even if you're looking to just make a move across town. So keep that in mind. The show is for everybody. I did have Heather jumps on. She asks, if I'm relocating and I already have my new job, do I have to start the job before I can get a loan? Heather, that is a fantastic question, and the answer is no, you do not. If you have a new job and you are relocating and you are staying within the same industry, same field, or you went to school and you graduated and now you are getting, a job offer in that field that you went to school for, we are going to be looking for your offer letter. We are going to be verifying with that company that they are hiring you on. Everything in the offer is holding true, and what your start date will be, and that you have actually completed all of the items within the offer. So many times there are some contingencies that say you need to pass a drug test, or you need to do a background check, or, different things that they're looking for you to do prior to beginning the job or being hired on 100%. We are going to be looking for the fact that you have made sure to take care of all of the contingencies in the offer, and we are going to confirm the start date that you will be beginning that job. We'll confirm the income with them, and that is it. That is all we need to get you going in a new town, in a new home. So no, you absolutely do not need to move there first. You do not need to start that job first, but you do need to have that job secured where we can confirm it. So Heather, that was a fantastic question. Willie says, new here, so excited to learn how to buy a home. Willie, we are excited to teach you how to buy a new home. Please reach out to us. Any questions that you might have, that goes for anybody at all that is watching right now or listening this weekend. I want you guys to know that it is an open door. I cannot tell you how many people that we have answered questions for that did not ultimately use us to do their lending. They might have already been in contract and now they've just got questions and they're stuck and they're confused and they're not getting the answers that they need. You know what? Call us, reach out. That is what we are here for. I am trying to bring the education to you to make sure that you are getting what you need. And that is the ultimate goal. At the end of the day, we'd absolutely love it if you would work with us, work with me and my team. We want to help you from start to finish. That is how we pay the bills around here. We do close loans for a living, but at the same time, that's not what we have to do. We are here to help you. And so if you need some questions answered, please feel free to reach out. How do you guys reach us? It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Please go to my website, go to mortgagemomradio.com, and you can click the Contact Us button right there on the website. Send me an email. You guys can watch YouTube. You can contact us by phone, just like I gave you guys that number. There's tons of ways to get a hold of us, and we're always here. We're here taking calls Monday through Sunday. There isn't a day that we take off. There's always somebody available. Even if you get our call service, you can schedule an appointment, even if it's on the weekend. You can leave a message for me. You can send me an email. If you need after hours, we understand that not everybody works a normal, 9 to 5 job. We've got people that are ready and willing to help. My team is great. There isn't a single girl on here, part of my team, part of my company, who is not, hasn't been in the business for a very long time. They've all been in the business for a very long time. They are all very knowledgeable and educated in mortgage and real estate. So Sunshine and Gardens, she says, I'm moving from California and going to a state with lower property taxes. Would I qualify for a bigger loan amount? You know what? That is a great question. And the answer would be yes. If you're moving somewhere where the property taxes are less expensive, the homeowner's insurance is less expensive, that is going to afford you a higher sales price. So remember that we're looking at the complete principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA. Anything that goes into the actual housing cost is how we are calculating what you qualify for. So if the housing cost where you're moving to is less expensive than where you are today, or what you've been pre-approved for in the state that you're in, and you're moving to a state that is less expensive, yes, you are absolutely going to be able to qualify for more. So that was a fantastic question, guys. Please keep them coming. I love this. This is what makes our show great. If you're thinking that question, chances are there are many other people that have the same question. So please be the brave person, step up and put it out there for us, because everybody is learning together. Heather jumped on. She also asks, is it better for me to qualify for a loan before I move, or should I wait until I find a home? So that is number one, you should always get yourself pre-approved before you start looking for a home. Whether you're looking out of state, whether you're looking, within your own neighborhood, your own backyard, you always want to get pre-approved before you actually start looking for a property. You're going to find a home, you're going to want to make an offer, you're going to get super excited. And now we've got, sometimes it can be a couple of weeks worth of work that we need to do to get you pre-approved to be able to make that offer. That home could come and go. You might lose your chances at that property. You might lose that opportunity because you didn't do it in advance. You might be thinking that you can afford a certain sales price because that's an average price home in your neighborhood. And come to find out that's not your price. You can't qualify for that, or that is not within the budget, or maybe it's well below the budget and you didn't realize that you could have qualified for quite a bit more and been looking, at a different place. You might think it's pretty cool. You can afford that payment, no problem, because you've been looking at Redfin and Zillow and Realtor.com and all those apps, which, by the way, don't give you the correct monthly payment to count on. So then you find out after calling your loan officer, after seeing the home, wanting to make an offer, meeting with the real estate agent, that you can't afford that home, that home is going to cost you more than what you expected, what you anticipated. So it is always, always better to reach out, get pre-approved, talk to a professional, make sure that you understand what you're getting into, you're budgeting for it, you know how much money that you need for down payment, you know how much money that you need for closing costs, you know what you qualify for. All very, very important things to do first. How do you do that? How do you get yourself pre-approved? You call our office. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Call our office. Let us help you get pre-approved. Let us talk to you about your budget. Let us take you through the steps, from beginning to end. Let us help you get yourself educated and ready to go. So it looks like my mama jumps on. She doesn't get on very often. How exciting. She says, will I be at an advantage by getting fully underwritten before writing an offer? And the answer to that would be yes, of course. We talk about this all the time. My mom is amazing. And obviously she's big part of my life, so she's understanding what we're doing here. Yeah, of course. It's always, always important to get underwritten before you make an offer. Let me just tell you that a pre-qualification, there is a difference. And when you talk with a loan officer, you want to ask, are you getting me pre-qualified or are you getting me pre-approved? And then when they say, well, we're getting you pre-approved, well, are you getting me underwritten? Or are you giving me a pre-approval letter? There is a big distinguish. I don't know how to put the word. I'm losing the word, but it's different. It is very different. What those things are and what they mean. So you definitely want to be underwritten. A pre-approval is an underwritten loan commitment. It is coming from the underwriter. Loan officers, God love them, I'm one of them, make mistakes. We make mistakes. We're human beings. We do the very best that we can to help every client that we have. We are trying to remember the guidelines for every single loan program that is out there. Remember that there's USDA, there's FHA, there's conventional, there's jumbo, there's bank statement loans. We have debt service loans. The jumbo loans just in themselves are, I believe we've got about 7 different lenders that we work with within my company for jumbo lending. every single one of those lenders have different underwriting guidelines. So as a loan officer, it is my job to put you into the right fit. Which loan program works best for you? Which loan program should we be working towards? And then I'm doing my best to review all of your income documentation, your assets, making sure that you're going to qualify for that lender where we are going to place that loan. However, the underwriter that the loan gets submitted to is specific to that program. So I could very well make a mistake. I might not remember that this lender has a different guideline than this lender. And then all of a sudden you're in escrow, you're super excited, and you find out, oh my goodness, we've got a loan program problem. I'm going to have to switch the lender. I'm going to have to change you over to here. Now the rates are going to change. The pricing's going to change. You don't want that to happen. You want to know when you're walking into a deal that this deal is going to close. That is very, very important. So great question, Mom. I'm so happy that you brought that up. I really appreciate it because it is something that I don't necessarily bring up quite a bit on my show, but something very, very important for all my listeners to hear. So we do have, Heidi's got a question for me. Mom jumps in with another question. I'm going to take a super quick break, just 10, 15 seconds, guys. Hold tight. I need some water. And when we come back, we're going to answer those questions again. And then I still really want to get into some of the things that I feel are really important when you are trying to decide where you're going. So what are the things that you guys should be researching and looking into before making a decision about where you might want to relocate to? So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and I am the host of the Mortgage Mom Radio Show, and we are bringing you guys all the education and information that we possibly can about all things real estate and mortgage. So I want you guys to get interactive. If you want to be part of the show, you're listening on the weekend by radio, and you want to know when we go live, text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. If you text the word MOM, you'll opt yourself in. You'll get a text message once a week with a link to YouTube so that you can jump on and join in. That is the same exact telephone number to call my office, get your application started, talk to us about your pre-approval, talk to us about where it is that you're wanting to go. Use us as your tool in your tool belt. Let us answer questions for you. Let us help you get educated. Let us help you take some of the stress off of your next home purchase. That is what we're here to do for you. So right before the break, we did have another question. It says, let's see, what if my job is transferring me to another state and I find the perfect home, but I'm not being transferred for 90 days? Can I still buy now? And actually, Heidi asked that question. And it's a great question, and I think that that's something that does come up quite frequently. And the answer is yes, we can actually do that. You do need to occupy the property within, I do believe it's 59 days of closing on the loan. But let's say that you are transferring in 90 and you're, making an offer right now. Most of the time, a transaction takes about 30 days to close. So that's going to put you right at that 60-day mark. So you could absolutely close on that home, get yourself all prepared here, get your home sold, and get yourself packed up and then moved and have a home to move into, not feeling that stress and rush of, trying to make everything happen, getting there a couple of days before, and then having to start a new job and a new position. So yes, we can absolutely work with you if you're 90 days out. Give us a call. Let's talk to you about what, where you're going, what you're trying to do, what's the new, what is the job. So one thing to keep in mind is that when you get transferred, even if you are, let's say, for example, you're working for Kaiser and you're going to transfer from one state to another, many times there's different rates of pay for the exact same job based on where you are relocating to within the country. So make sure that you understand everything about what you're walking into. Talk to us in advance because we have got so much knowledge around this. We have been doing loans now for the last couple of years for really the majority of our clients most recently have been people relocating. So call us and talk to us about the things that you need to be checking into and understanding of before you start making decisions. And then you find out once you get there that your paycheck changed. So definitely reach out and talk to us. But yes, to answer the question, Heidi, yes, we can absolutely do that. Next question was, will a seller take my offer before other buyers' offers with fully underwritten approval? And I would say yes. I do believe that that is something that a seller would be more likely to want to accept your offer over somebody else's if you can show them that you have a loan commitment letter, if you can show them that you have been fully underwritten and you have the ability to close without any concern. Obviously, you still need to do your due diligence. You still need to make sure that you do your home inspection, and the appraisal still needs to come in at value. And, you need to make sure that you can get insurance on the home, that there aren't any issues there. But if you and another person walk in with the exact same offer and you've got an underwritten loan commitment, if I were a seller, I would be accepting that offer over another buyer's. So apples to apples, yes, I do believe that that would definitely be a big benefit for you and a nice edge and step ahead. Carrie jumps in. She says, I love this topic. I bought a house in Tennessee without ever stepping foot in the state. I got to tell you, Carrie, a lot of people have done that, but boy, oh my goodness, boy, you are one brave little lady because I couldn't do it. It would kill me. Oh my goodness. I am such an OCD perfectionist. I have to know everything. I would, oh my goodness, I would freak out. But the fact that you did it and you love it, and there are a lot of people that have done it and they love it. Each to their own, right? I mean, it's whatever works for you. And I think that's fantastic. Now, I do want to bring you back to the fact that I remember Drew, your husband, actually having gone to Tennessee before you guys moved. So I don't know if you actually checked out your area where you guys are living now, if you've got friends and family, somebody that's lived there, that you had been there once before. But boy, you are definitely a stronger lady than me. That is for sure. Let's see. Heather asks, she says, Carrie asks, what if I work remotely and can live anywhere? That's fantastic. Then we're going to verify with your job, with your company, that you are remote and that you can work from anywhere with no change in pay. And voila. That's the income that we're going to use. So great question. A lot of people don't realize that if they have that ability, if they're working from home and they want to move somewhere else, that we can continue to use that income and qualify you with that income. So great question. Again, I love you guys. Keep asking these questions. They're fantastic. Heather, can I base my SOG on bonus for a down payment? So Heather, I think you need to rewrite that one. I'm really sorry. I can't quite figure out what you're saying here on YouTube. So just write it. Okay, here she goes. She did. Can I use my sign-on bonus for my down payment? Yes, you can. If you are getting a sign-on bonus by your company for making the move, which many people do with their relocation packages. So if you are getting hired by a company and they are offering you a relocation package and one of those items is a sign-on bonus, you can absolutely use that part of that as your down payment. If you are getting a brand new job, you're not getting a relocation package, you're just choosing to move, but they're giving you a sign-on bonus, yes, you can. Any money that you've earned from a job that can be verified is allowable towards your down payment and your closing costs. So absolutely, hands down, that can absolutely be used. Great question. Okay, so back to, and if you guys have the questions, keep them coming, not a problem. But I do want to jump back into some of those items that I keep telling you guys we're going to talk about that I think are really important when you're deciding that you want to make a move from one place to another. So if you're thinking about even again in your backyard, you might be thinking, I'm going to move, across town 10 minutes, I can get more home. So some of the things that I think are really important for you to take in mind that you guys should be researching in advance before making any kind of a decision about where you're going are the following. The first thing that I do, so trust me, I get very excited. I'm on realtor.com all the time too. The only difference is that I know how to run a mortgage payment, which is very difficult for some. The payments that they show you guys, like I mentioned on realtor.com, are not accurate. Many times they're not using the tax base that you're going to be charged as a new buyer. They're using the current seller's taxes, and in turn, that doesn't really calculate the payment correctly. It's also many times not showing you mortgage insurance if you don't have a big down payment. So if you guys do want to know what a house might cost you as you are window shopping throughout these apps, the best thing that I can tell you to do is actually text the word mom to 844-935-3634. That's 844 we lend for you, WELEND, and the number 4. And as you guys can see, it's the same phone number to call me, same number to opt into text messages. If you text mom to that number as well, you will also get a link to my phone app. The phone app is phenomenal. It's got calculators on there that will help you to determine what your monthly payment is. So while you are shopping those apps, you can see what a USDA loan would cost you monthly. You can see what an FHA loan would cost you monthly. You can see what a VA loan would cost you monthly. If you are considered disabled or not with the VA, you're going to actually answer that question, and it's going to calculate that upfront funding fee. Same with USDA, the upfront funding fee. Conventional with less than 20% down, it's going to calculate what the monthly mortgage insurance will be. FHA, it's going to calculate the monthly mortgage insurance and the upfront PMI. So it's a really great app to help you as you are window shopping to figure out if something might be within your budget and to come within a much closer reality of what that home might be from what you're seeing on those other apps. So keep that in mind. If you have ever received a text message from Mortgage Mom Radio before, and you text the word mom to that number and you don't get a reply with the phone app, it will only do it on the initial first text. So just text the same number and literally just say, please send me the link for the phone app. I would be more than happy to get in there and do that for you, and I'll just send it back to you directly. So once again, the number to get that is 844-935-3634. Text the word mom to that number. And if you don't get a reply because you've actually gotten text messages from me before, or for some reason it doesn't respond to you with that link for the Mortgage Mom Radio phone app, just go ahead and put in your comment phone app, and I would be more than happy to send you the link to that. I do have a phone app also in the App Store, but it is not the same phone app. The phone in the App Store is for you to do your application with me and my team. That is for you to upload documentation to for your loan that is in process. It is a completely different application for once you are moving forward through the process of pre-approval or actually doing your loan. So phone app in the App Store, doing a loan. Texting me to get my tools and my Mortgage Mom Radio phone app, that's where you're going to text the word mom to 844-935-3634. So now back at it again. Back to what are the things to be looking at as you're cruising through these different websites, right? And these different apps on your phone, and you're kind of doing a little bit of, house porn, right? So, which I do all the time. Trust me, I live here and I do it all the time, every day. It's just something that I find fun, and I'm trying to figure out maybe where I want to go someday, right? So some of the things to really keep in mind is, what is the state sales tax? So what are you going to pay for state sales taxes when you make a move? Another thing to look at is, what is the state income tax? So what is that tax for that state for your income taxes? You might find a state that has no income taxes, which is awesome. But then you also might find that in that state, home property taxes are more expensive. So you want to look at what is the tax base, what is the average tax base for property taxes in that state? What is the average income taxes in that state? What are the sales taxes in that state? Those are three very important things for you to be looking at. If you have kids, you want to look at the surrounding schools. How do those schools rate? If your kids are in certain particular programs, do they have those programs at that school? So for example, the East Coast of the United States is huge on lacrosse. But for years and years and years, lacrosse really didn't exist in California. It's here now, and it's really starting to make a statement, but it wasn't here for a long time, and it might not be in one of the states that you might want to move to. So make sure that anything that is important to you and your family, that you guys are doing that research to make sure that it is going to be a fit for you. What stores are in the area? Are there stores that you like to shop at within the area of where you live? Are you a big Instacarter like me? I do a lot of Instacart because I'm just so darn busy that making it to a grocery store is very difficult. So is there Instacart in the area where you're looking to go to? How is that going to change up your schedule if you've got to get in the car and go shopping, yourself, right? A big change to life just in that little itty bitty tiny thing. So, really look at your life. That is the best advice that I can give you. Sit down and make a list of everything that is important to you. How close are you to the nearest airport? Are you going to have family that's going to be flying in that needs to be easily accessible to get to you? Do you have a health condition of some sort that you need to make sure that there is medical attention? Are there good doctors for what you need to take care of, for whatever that field is that maybe you've got that thing that needs to be handled. Air quality, for anybody that might have any kind of asthma or allergies or a lung condition. There's a lot of things, guys, that you really want to sit down and say, what is important to me that I can make sure that I'm researching before I make this move? I want to make one move. I want to get there. I want to be happy. How close is it to get into town to the stores that you're going to go to? Are you right there in the middle of town? Is that too close for you? You just make that list of everything that is important and, make sure that it's going to check off all those boxes. Carrie says, and bugs. And yes, Carrie, that is absolutely true. If you hate mosquitoes, are there mosquitoes there? I was just looking at myself. I got all excited this morning. I'm like, maybe Lake Texoma would be a good place for me, right? It's a beautiful lake. And then it's got alligators. I don't think that's going to work for me. So you guys, you really do have to research. Like for me, boating's important. For me, the ABA services for my son who is autistic is very important. So I have to make sure that it's a town that has those services and that they've got, very good special education at the schools. And, you really, guys, just do your research. That's what I'm telling you. And the best thing you could possibly do is sit down and make a list of everything that is important so that you can make sure that you go through all of those things and you check mark off every single box before you make that move. Are you okay with humidity? Would you rather have dry heat? How do you feel about the cold and about the snow? How do you feel about driving in the snow? How do you feel about tornadoes? Weather and climate can be a very big determining factor in where you might decide that you want to move. But no matter what that decision is, no matter where you decide that you're going, chances are that Mortgage Mom Radio can help you get there. We can take some of the stress off of you by helping you, by getting you educated, by getting you fully pre-approved and getting you referred over to a fantastic real estate agent who is going to take your best, everything at heart, right? Just absolutely take care of you and make sure that what you need is what they're searching for and taking care of for you. And yes, Heidi jumped in and said dry heat, so she must really love the dry heat. But many people, I'm going to tell you, I would prefer the humidity over the dry heat. That's just me personally. That 120 it's hot. If I'm in my boat and I'm in the water, I absolutely love it. But anything outside of that, it's hot. So, everybody's got a thing. Everybody's got a different preference. My husband would love to be in Montana where there's snow and it's cold, and he can have it. I'm not doing it. I can't do the cold. I lived in Chicago for a lot of years, and I just can't go back to that. I could do some dusting, gone the next day, 30, 40, 50, degrees outside. When I wake up and I watch the Weather Channel, and this was my favorite, especially when my son Manny was a baby. I lived in Illinois, and my absolute favorite was, you live there and it's cold and it's freezing, and you live by the Weather Channel. So you're watching the Weather Channel daily, and that doesn't matter. Winter, summer, is there a tornado coming through? We got a thunderstorm happening. What's going on today, right? So my favorite was sitting in the wintertime and seeing today will be a high of 10 with a low of 1. And it'd be like, or today's going to be -10 with a high of 1. I personally can't do that. Other people love it. My husband could do it all day long. I can't do that. I've got to find somewhere that's going to have a little bit more mild temperatures. So just once again, Mortgage Mom Radio, giving you the education, giving you the information, telling you what kinds of things to think about. Sit down, make your list, and make sure you check mark all those boxes on your list. What's the weather there? Can I handle it? What about the education? What about the schools? What about the sales taxes? What about the property taxes? What about the income taxes? Is it a Democratic or a Republican state? Is it a purple state? I'm not here to tell you which one that you want, but these are things that you do need to research. And does it have bugs, and are there alligators, and is it humid, and is it dry, and just what is it that you guys are looking for, and make sure that it's got it. Wendy jumped on. She said, when using affordability calculator, how do you factor in for property taxes, homeowners insurance, and HOA when you don't know how much it is, so you get more accurate amount than you can afford? Okay. So Wendy, what Wendy's basically trying to ask me is, when using the affordability calculator in my tool, so in my Mortgage Mom Radio phone app, there is an affordability calculator on that phone app, which is awesome. Believe me that the affordability calculator on that app is very conservative, like extremely conservative. So if it tells you that you will qualify for a certain amount, when you talk with me or someone on my team, we are most likely, assuming you've put your income and your debts in accurately, we are most likely going to be able to qualify you for more than what that app is going to show you. So I'm very much on wanting to make sure that I'm showing you accurate information rather than getting you very excited and then we are telling you no on the other end. But what Wendy is asking is, there are pieces in that application where you need to actually be able to put in numbers. So for example, the property taxes. If you're in California and you're Los Angeles County and you're looking for a home here, you would want to use 1.25%. If you're looking for something around, San Antonio, Texas, and Behar County, or, you're probably going to want to put in 2.6%. I've seen those taxes as high as 2.9. I've seen them as low as 2.3, depending on the property. If you're looking in Arizona, Heidi can jump in and tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're probably about 0.71, 0.74. If you're looking in Utah, you're probably about 0.81, 0.87. So do the research, like I'm saying, as you're thinking about where you want to go, literally type it right into Google. What are the average property taxes in X county? And you want to make sure that you put the state, because there are multiple Marshall counties in many different states. So make sure that you do, follow that up with the state that you're looking in so that you are getting more accurate information. Homeowners insurance, that is one that you can absolutely reach out to me and ask me by simply sending me an email or a contact us. If you've got the phone app, you can send me a message right through the phone app and I will answer that question for you. So tell me what city, what state that you're looking in, and about what price range that you think that you'd be interested in, and I can give you a good number to jump in there to use for your annual homeowners insurance. So it is going to ask you for that. Again, just kind of some basics for you guys. LA County, if you're looking at a $600,000 single family home, you might want to put in about $1,200. Texas, you guys are quite a bit more expensive. It'd probably be more like $1,800. Las Vegas, you guys actually are probably a little bit closer to $800, a little bit less expensive. So, just reach out to me and ask me. That's what these consultations are for. That's why, we want you to reach out and be talking to us so we can get you all set up and prepared and ready. But if you're a little bit shy and you're not quite ready to pick up the phone or, just send me an email, use the contact us button, go to my website, mortgagemomradio.com, click on the contact us, send me an email. I would be more than happy to give you all of the details of what you need to plug in the information to know that you're getting as close as possible to the right monthly payment that it is, creating for you, or your affordability, that it's creating the right affordability numbers for you as well. So Wendy, great question. Thank you so much for bringing that up. That is fantastic. And Heidi said, yes, we are about 0.7. So she was answering the question. I said, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I thought that, Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson, Mesa, all those areas are going to be about 0.7, 0.71. And she was confirming that I'm accurate for the property taxes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show. It's all about, relocating. And again, all of the information that I provided to you works even if you're looking at a home in your backyard. This doesn't mean that you can't listen to the show because you're not planning on moving cross country. But if you are, I hope that I gave you some great information. I just want to mention one more time all of the states that we can help you in. And I want to remind you, if I don't mention a state that I can help you in, please reach out and let me know where you're looking so that I can actually look into the state that you prefer and see what can I do to get myself licensed there so that we can make sure that we're taking care of you. So it's Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, Nevada, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, Washington. I just finished Utah, so that's around the corner. And we do have a couple more states. I'm working on Colorado, Montana, and Hawaii. And then again, if there is a particular state that I didn't mention that you would love us to help you in, please reach out and ask. I'd be more than happy to check into it and see what can we do to get licensed there to help you make the very best transition for you and your family, take a little bit of stress and make it just a little bit easier. Again, I'm Debbie Marcoux. I am the Mortgage Mom. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. If you guys want to reach out to the team, we would love to hear from you. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 We Lend for You. WELEND and the number 4. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll be back next week with all kinds of good stuff. See you real soon.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions and MLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.